Hi, I'm Benny. I love languages. English is my passion. Ever since I was a child, I was fascinated by the way words could connect people from different parts of the world. I would spend hours listening to English songs, watching movies, and trying to mimic the accents. It was like a magical world where I could be anyone and go anywhere. I want to help you learn English too. I believe that language is a bridge that can bring us closer together, and I want to share my journey with you. Learning English has opened so many doors for me, and I want to help you unlock those doors too. Whether you're a beginner or looking to improve your skills, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. I wasn't always good at English. In fact, there were times when I felt completely overwhelmed. I remember sitting in my room, staring at my textbook, feeling like I would never get it. The grammar rules seemed impossible, and the vocabulary was endless. But I didn't give up. I started learning as an adult. It was a daunting task, but I was determined. I enrolled in classes, used language learning apps, and practiced every chance I got. I knew that if I wanted to achieve my dream, I had to put in the effort. It was hard at first. There were nights when I stayed up late, trying to memorize new words and understand complex sentences. I felt exhausted, but I kept pushing forward. I knew that every small step I took was bringing me closer to my goal. I felt lost and alone. There were moments when I doubted myself and wondered if I would ever be able to speak English fluently. But I reminded myself of why I started this journey in the first place. I wanted to connect with people, to understand different cultures, and to see the world through a new lens. But I had a dream that kept me going even when things got tough. I imagined myself traveling to new places, meeting new people, and having conversations in English. That vision gave me the strength to keep going. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to experience different cultures, taste new foods, and see the beauty of our planet. And I knew that speaking English would make all of that possible. It was the key to unlocking a world of opportunities. I wanted to speak English with everyone. I wanted to be able to communicate with people from all walks of life, to share stories and learn from each other. English is a global language, and I wanted to be a part of that global community. So, I started my journey. I packed my bags, left my comfort zone, and set out to achieve my dream. It wasn't easy, but I was ready to face the challenges head-on. I knew that every step I took was bringing me closer to my goal. I knew it wouldn't be easy. There were times when I felt like giving up, but I reminded myself of why I started. I kept pushing forward, one step at a time. I faced each challenge with determination and perseverance, but I was determined to learn. And with each passing day, I could see my progress. I started to understand more, to speak more confidently, and to connect with people in ways I never thought possible. My dream was becoming a reality, and it was all because I never gave up. London was my dream city. Ever since I was a child, I had always been fascinated by its rich history, iconic landmarks, and the vibrant culture that seemed to pulse through its streets. The thought of walking along the Thames, seeing the Tower Bridge, and hearing the chimes of Big Ben filled me with an indescribable excitement. I knew that one day I had to experience it all for myself. I wanted to live and breathe English. Growing up, I spent countless hours studying the language, watching English movies, and reading English books. I joined language clubs and attended English-speaking events whenever I could. The more I immersed myself in the language, the more I fell in love with it. I dreamed of the day when I could converse fluently with native speakers and truly understand the nuances of the language. So, I booked a one-way ticket. It was a bold decision, but I knew it was the only way to fully immerse myself in the culture and language. I spent weeks preparing for the trip, packing my suitcase with all the essentials and saying goodbye to friends and family. The anticipation was almost unbearable, but I knew that this journey would change my life forever. I was scared and excited. The moment I boarded the plane, a mix of emotions washed over me. I was leaving behind everything familiar and stepping into the unknown. But the excitement of new adventures and the promise of personal growth kept me going. As the plane took off, I looked out the window, feeling a sense of freedom and possibility. It was a big step. Arriving in London, I felt a rush of adrenaline. The city was everything I had imagined and more. The bustling streets, the diverse people, and the endless opportunities made my heart race. I knew that this was the beginning of something extraordinary. I took a deep breath and embraced the journey ahead, ready to face whatever challenges and adventures came my way. But I knew it was the right one. London was amazing. Every corner of the city had something new to offer. From the historic landmarks to the modern attractions, there was always something to see and do. I spent my days exploring the city, taking photos, and soaking in the vibrant atmosphere. The energy of London was infectious, and I felt more alive than ever before. Everywhere I went, people spoke English. It was a dream come true. I practiced my language skills every chance I got, striking up conversations with locals and making new friends. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. I attended language classes and joined social groups, eager to improve my fluency and understanding of the language. It was like being in an English movie. The city felt like a giant film set, with every scene more captivating than the last. I watched movies in English cinemas, attended theatre performances, and participated in cultural events. Each experience deepened my appreciation for the language and the culture. I felt like I was living in a storybook, with each day bringing new adventures and discoveries. I was finally in an English-speaking country. It was everything I had hoped for and more. The journey was challenging at times, but every moment was worth it. I learned so much about myself and the world around me. I grew more confident, more independent, and more open-minded. London had become my home, and I was grateful for every experience that brought me here. My journey was just beginning. There was still so much to see, do, and learn. I knew that my time in London would shape my future in ways I couldn't even imagine. With each passing day, I felt more connected to the city and its people. I was ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that this incredible journey was only the beginning of a lifelong adventure. At first, I understood very little. People spoke so fast. I was too shy to speak. I started with basic English classes. I studied grammar rules and vocabulary lists. It was slow and frustrating. I wanted to speak fluently, not just memorize words. I needed a new approach. I needed to learn English in a more natural way. One day I met a friendly English teacher. She changed everything.
Forget the rules, just speak.
She encouraged me to talk about my interests. She listened patiently and corrected my mistakes. We talked about movies, music, and travel. I started to feel more confident. For the first time, I felt like I was really speaking English. My teacher loved stories. He told me funny anecdotes and interesting facts. He used simple language and lots of gestures. I understood everything he said. I started reading short stories in English. I watched English movies with subtitles. Stories made English come alive. I learned new words and grammar naturally. Grammar was always my weakness. I remember staring at those grammar books, feeling completely lost and overwhelmed. The rules seemed endless, and the exceptions even more confusing. It felt like I was trying to learn a foreign language without any guidance. My teacher made it fun and easy to learn. She introduced games and activities that made the rules stick. Flashcards, interactive whiteboard sessions, and even grammar puzzles became part of our daily routine. It was a refreshing change from the monotonous drills and rote memorization. We played games, sang songs, and even acted out grammar rules. Each activity was designed to reinforce a specific concept, making learning both effective and enjoyable. The classroom was always buzzing with energy and laughter, and grammar lessons became something to look forward to. He explained grammar in a simple way, using examples from everyday life. Whether it was using objects around us or drawing parallels to our daily conversations, he made sure we understood the practical application of each rule. This approach demystified grammar and made it relatable. I started to see the logic behind the rules. The patterns and structures began to make sense, and I found myself applying them naturally in my writing and speech. Those aha moments were incredibly rewarding and boosted my confidence. Grammar wasn't so scary anymore. It became a tool I could use to express myself more clearly and effectively. I began to appreciate the nuances of the language and enjoy the challenge of mastering it.
Grammar isn't so scary anymore, right? It's amazing how a different approach can change your perspective. With the right guidance and a bit of creativity, even the most daunting subjects can become enjoyable.
Absolutely. It became something I actually enjoyed. Now, I find myself helping others with their grammar, sharing the tips and tricks I learned. It's a testament to how effective and fun learning can be when it's done right. Grammar made fun indeed. I explored London and spoke English everywhere I went. I ordered food in cafes, asked for directions, and chatted with locals. I even got a part-time job at a pub. It was challenging but rewarding. Every day was a chance to practice my English. I was immersed in the language. I was living my dream. I was speaking English in London. Learning English takes time and effort. There's no magic formula. The key is to practice consistently. Speak English every day, even if you make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are part of the learning process. The more you practice, the better you'll become. My English journey is still ongoing. I'm still learning and improving every day. I can now communicate fluently and confidently in English. I've achieved my dream. But more importantly, I've discovered a love for language learning. English has opened up a world of opportunities for me. You can do it too. Don't give up on your dream of learning English. Find fun and engaging ways to learn. Speak English as much as possible. Believe in yourself. You can achieve fluency if you set your mind to it. Start your English journey today.